I'm not a brush snob in the sense that, oh, this was at Target and I'm not going to buy that brush. That's not me. If I go somewhere and there's a brush that's dense, it got a cute, and I feel like it's going to be sturdy and it's going to have a nice handle, I'm buying the brush. I don't discriminate as far as that's concerned. Will I buy a brush out of Dollar General? Probably not. But if that's where you're at and that's where your budget's at, hey, I'm not judging you, because guess what? You might just find a deal in Dollar General. Hey, welcome back to my channel. So it's Melissa here with another makeup transformation, makeup talk video. Before we get started, you saw from the title, you already know what we're going to be talking about, all things brushes. So before we get started with that, let's get the business out the way. If you've already subscribed to this channel, thank you a million times. With that being said, let's get right into this video. So I just got finished completing this look, and if you haven't already, make sure you catch that video. In that video, I talked about how to choose your correct foundation shade using examples of wrong and right types of shading. Make sure you check out that video. This video, I want to talk about brushes because I get a lot of comments, a lot of questions rather, pertaining to brushes. What brushes I use, what are good brushes, what are brushes for, just what? Let's talk about eyes. What do I use on my eyes? The first thing I want to talk about is my sort of cheaper lot brushes. I have a set of brushes and you can get them off Amazon. And I absolutely love them because it was like 100 in a pack. It was something like this, but 100 sets of something like this. And I love this because it's very user-friendly. It's beginner friendly, and it has literally every type of brush that you need to complete a face besides the foundation brush. So that's one of my favorite sets of brushes. It's very cheap. As much as I do makeup, it's something where I can just pick them out. So like this is a whole bunch of them, not that one, but this is a whole bunch of them. So it allows me a lot of applications. So I love that. It's cheap. It's what I learned on before I wanted to kind of dive in to get into more expensive brushes. It's a good place to start as far as that's concerned. The first thing with the eyes that I usually do is my brows. Has to be a brush like this. It is very thin and it's small enough. So I'm not going to use a brush like this because it's not precise enough. I want a really, really precise brush so that I can go in and get that area. It is a very precise brush. If anything, you want to go with something a little bit smaller like this to go with the angles. I have something even smaller. So these are the brushes that I like to use on my brows. If I'm going to apply eyeshadow primer, I'll apply it to the back of my hand. I may go into a brush like this. This is my MAC brush 213. I might use that one. It's going to be a bigger brush than what I'll use with my brows. So that's how I apply the eyeshadow base. Now, eyeshadow, without a doubt, my absolute favorite Morphe brushes. I have several types, but this is the Morphe 505 and this is 504. So 504 is going to be a little bit bigger, 505. So when I am applying the base, I might use a bigger brush. Morphe brushes for the eyes, absolute hands down. So I use that. Then I might go in and then hands down the 507. It's a little bit smaller and you're going to work that in here. You can work it in there. Another brush that I absolutely love to apply eyeshadow with is hands down the brushes that come with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. All their brushes, I really like them and I keep them. I don't keep them in the palette. I separate them and I just make sure that they're available for my use. I don't keep them in the palette that they belong in because I like them. If you watch my previous video I just did, I'll apply with this in, and then this is a good blending brush. But hands down, if this is not available, if you don't have this, the Morphe brushes are my absolute favorite at this point to apply eyeshadow. It's pretty much the only thing I use. If you're learning this lot that I said, it works. It's nothing against it. Foundation. I personally like a good dense foundation brush. So what do I mean by that? This brush is pretty darn dense. Like it's not. So this brush is dense, but you see how it's too palatable. Like I don't want it to move. I don't want her to move at all. So pretty dense. This brush I got out of Target. It's one of my absolute favorites. It is dense as heck. Like this brush is not moving. It's not going anywhere. And the reason why is because I want to apply and I want to do a cute little pat, and I don't want the makeup to travel with the brushes, with the bristles. See how that's moving? So this one I got from Target. This is a flat top foundation brush. That's what this one is. And I love it. It is dense. The second one is, again, this was in that Walmart set. This was a little bit softer, but it's cute. But I don't usually do like my whole face with that, but that's part of that set. So if you're ever at Walmart and you see this set, it's a good set. I forgot it was like $19. But anyway, back to Miss Morphe. Listen, favorite. I don't have to say anymore. Like, I just love their brushes. Okay. And then this is a Sephora brush. And if you want to compare a Morphe to a Sephora brush, again, she's a little bit more denser. And again, that's what I like out of a brush when I'm trying to apply my makeup. I don't want it to move. I don't want it to move with the brush. I want it, as I'm patting, for it to stay right where I wanted it to be. Let's say I'm applying, these MAC brushes are my absolute favorite brushes to apply highlighter, to apply blush, anything soft like that. And this is the MAC brush in 116. I like it to use it for my bronzer going around my face. But again, this is not a foundation brush. This would not be good for your foundation. If you don't have a MAC or it's, might be too expensive, you can definitely use that Walmart brush that I said that was similar. So that's for your blush, highlight. The next thing, highlight. I personally like to control my highlight because it can become a very messy thing. So this Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife, what do I use? I'm going to go back into my Morphe brushes. But anything like this is good. You can even use the cheap Amazon brushes. And then you could just apply like that. Then I may go into get a bigger brush and blend it in. Does that mean I couldn't blend with this brush? I absolutely could. I think this was another Target one, but I like this one. If I have like a creamy concealer, it really gets under there. That's really good for that too. You can kind of pat with it, pat around it, tap. So that's another one. So it's a larger flat brush, but you don't want to kind of try to apply makeup here unless you just, that's your thing. Setting powders. What do I use for powders? I don't have a beauty blender over here, but I use beauty blenders a lot to apply the powders. What to do if I don't have a beauty blender? I like these. You've seen these, and it's a very dense brown. You can spray it and you can just apply it like that. It's very soft. I like these because they're very soft. To clean up my eye area, let's say I have a spill and I'm doing my eyes. Again, I'm going to go with these brushes here. And again, when you're talking about 50 to 100 brushes in a lot, like besides the fact that I don't have to wash as many brushes as often, as you can see, I have at least 2 or 3 of the same brand of brush, but several types of foundation brushes. So I'll have 2 of these at least. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a brush snob in the sense that, oh, this was at Target and I'm not going to buy that brush. That's not me. If I go somewhere and there's a brush that's dense, it got a cute, and I feel like it's going to be sturdy and it's going to have a nice handle, I'm buying the brush. I don't discriminate as far as that's concerned. Will I buy a brush out of Dollar General? Probably not. But if that's where you're at and that's where your budget's at, hey, I'm not judging you, because guess what? You might just find a deal in Dollar General. You need a cute, fluffy brush. You need a cute, big, fluffy brush that's going to get you can do your face, one clean sweep of your face. These two are kind of like cousins. They're in the same boat. This one's gonna give you the same. They're literally the same, And what I'll do is I'll take like my finishing powder, setting powder, and if I just want to dip all over, it's a cute soft brush. There's certain brushes that you want a lot of, and to me, you want a lot like this one. This is another MAC one where it's with that skinny. To me, you want a lot of the skinny, precise brushes and eyeshadow brushes, only because if you're the type, you're going to be doing different looks, but also with different colors, you want to make sure that you can switch out your brushes. And that's why I really, really like this lot. So that's that. I think I went through it and told you all the brushes that I use and where I use it for and why I use it. I let you know the brands that I mainly use. You've heard Sephora a lot. You've heard Morphe a lot. And you heard Target a lot. Again, don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to if you see a brush at Sephora, if you see a brush at Ulta, if you see a brush at Target or Walmart, don't be afraid to branch out and just try it. If you know, because usually they'll have like the tips of it out exposed, or they'll have examples of them, and you just kind of feel. And I'm telling you, this was from Walmart, if I remember correctly. This was the whole set from Walmart. And literally it has all parts that I would, let's say if this was the only brush set that I had, and I don't remember how much it cost, maybe $19, $20, I don't know. But anyway, if I didn't have any other brushes, this brush set would be enough to carry a good look. I'm going to use this for my foundation. I'm going to use this for the really precision. I'm going to use this to apply concealer. I'm going to use this to apply eyeshadow and blend my eyeshadow. And then you use this for your setting powder. Like literally, this is a good set. And it was from Walmart. So don't forget that it's really recommended, especially if you're doing a daily look and you're literally doing your makeup every day for sanitary reasons, but also just so that you don't have to clean your brushes all the time, that you have several of the same type of brushes. If I'm at Sephora and not Sephora, Morphe, and I like every time I go, I'll pick up a brush. Okay, not one, at least 4. And it'll be like the eyes, because I love their eyeshadows. So I'm picking up an eye one, or I'm picking up a foundation brush. The MAC brush, again, I use it for those spots where I'm applying highlighter or stuff like that. So if you have any questions about brands or where, you know, if I left something out, because I'm going to link all the products down below where I got them from. And there you have it. As always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.